Greetings, welcome to the online conference of Net Zero Solutions organized by SynTao and World Green Building Council. I'm Cao Yuan from SynTao. Today, I would like to share with you the value of carbon neutrality in the construction and property industry and several cases in China. China proposed the carbon peak and neutrality goal in 2020 and carried out a series of policy frameworks of 1+N. In fact, the construction industry is a field of great importance to achieving carbon peak and carbon neutrality goals in China. Under the basic background, with no further actions, it is necessary to develop renewable energy on the building surface, accelerate the greening and decarbonizing of energy consumed in buildings, and then assist certain negative carbon technology through further intelligent operation and energy saving of buildings so that the carbon peak and neutrality goals can be achieved. Carbon neutrality of property requires continued exploring of new business logic instead of solely relying on policy guidance. The carbon neutrality goal of the whole property industry shall become a path to add more value to buildings. A lot of leading enterprises have put forward their carbon neutrality goals. Tencent, for example, has released a roadmap to achieve carbon neutrality by 2030. The roadmap made certain plans for the office environment and overall energy consumption. Tencent's office buildings but not only have a LEED Gold certifications and a 2-star green construction certification, but also provides low carbon solutions for AIoT buildings based on BIM and other intelligence for the technical developer scenario. Combined with green electricity, Tencent aims to realize zero carbon office space by 2030. This is an example that inspires other tenants and enable them to figure out how to explore and realize carbon neutrality goals and commercial value of building operations. Currently, the 2060 Zero Carbon Corporate Initiative is developing the standards of carbon neutrality goals in properties, fostering green leases for properties and exploring the ways to add value to tenants so that to successfully transfer operators to value-added service providers. Under the system of carbon neutrality, the first problem is to figure out how to realize the effect of neutrality based on electricity in public space during the property operation and become a certified zero carbon property. Property could provide tenants with zero carbonization services during the energy consumption period, such as purchasing green electricity for tenants. Obtaining the certification of green carbon neutrality through green leases is also a good option. Property enterprises can also start from the aspects like renovation and the use of renewables and provide tenants with zero carbon solutions with new business value. Today, we are honored to invite guests from China Overseas Commercial Properties, Yuexiu REITs, Huamao Group, Landsea Green Life, and Aeon Mall to share several cases of how to achieve carbon neutrality during the operation period. These cases represent examples of how China strives forward to achieve carbon neutrality in the comprehensive commercial real estate and residential buildings as well as commercial centers. We also welcome all of you to share your practical experiences. Welcome to the World Green Building Council's Net Zero Solutions around the world in 24 hours. I'm Lin Deliang from Yuexiu REITs, a Hong Kong-listed company. Today, we are going to share some insights regarding the development trends of ESG in commercial real estate against the backdrop of the dual carbon targets. The ESG concept has attracted wide attention. The integration of commercial real estate and ESG has become a path of great significance to enhance asset value from the perspectives of green building, energy saving, and emission reducing, service improvement, and risk prevention. According to the dual carbon targets, we are going to achieve carbon emission peaking by 2030 and carbon neutrality by 2060. In 2019, the World Green Building Council World GBC also reported that 39% of global GHG emissions came from the construction industry. It takes 3 steps to practice ESG at Yuexiu REITs. Firstly, the development phase. We focus on the adoption of green buildings, efficient machine rooms, insulated curtain walls, saving the overall energy consumption of the cooling system, and so on. Secondly, the operational phase. We've already signed green contracts with suppliers, property operators, tenants, and decoration workers, and other units in the upstream and downstream of the value chain. Thirdly, the financial stage. We issued $4.8 billion of green bank financing last year. Over the past 2 years, 56% of properties have obtained the LEED certification of platinum level. 77% of properties have realized the digital monitoring for energy consumption, and carbon emissions were reduced by 7%. From the aspect of energy saving, we invested 2.39 million yuan for capital renovation. In terms of ESG operation, we start from 5 different dimensions: industry portrait, industry profile, product profile, service profile, and customer value profile, which is a total of 9 properties, up to 2 of which received several LEED EBOM certifications and WELL certification, accounting for 56% of the total property area. We've also laid a solid foundation for a lot of green buildings. We've also initiated proactive management of indoor air quality, including carbon dioxide monitors. In terms of carbon saving and use of technological carbon, we use photovoltaic technology and technology related to energy circulation. Our elevators can also generate electricity when moving up and down, serving the passengers. In terms of energy saving in lights, we have put LED lights into great use. We adopted several TCFD recommendations and organized the opportunities and challenges posed by climate change comprehensively. We set out goals in the short, medium, and long term with the emissions of 2019 as the benchmark. We aim to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 13.5% per cubic meter in 2025. Critical paths are set in terms of overall energy efficiency and infrastructure improvements, including the use of renewable energy and so on. By 2030, following the realization of the national dual carbon targets, we will increase our use of renewable energy and continue to construct the carbon emissions that conform to the value chain according to scientific principles. As for the long-term goal, we will come to a zero-carbon era in an orderly way by 2060 and promote renewable energy in an all-round way. In aspects like digitalization, refinement, and specialization, 77% of the total areas have achieved digitalized monitoring of energy consumption. In terms of refinement, through infrared technology, we can scan our power supply system, bus cable, and other equipments. This technology enables us to achieve green performance monitoring accurately. At the same time, we will create a responsible value chain with 100% penetration rate to develop the whole concepts so that it could be welcomed by talents, suppliers, and so on. In the second part of my talk, we are going to talk about what ESG means for office assets. Green building certification raises the premium on assets immediately. 85% of respondents also mentioned that a green building can increase the value and overall returns. Green finance also drives the development of zero-carbon incentives. Last year, we issued 4.8 billion bank loans with definitely a better interest rate. Through the improvement of our management and financial means, we are realizing the zero-carbon green financing targets. As for Yuexiu rates, it was listed in Hong Kong in December 2005. Through years of development, today we are a listed real estate investment fund in Hong Kong, China, and Singapore, with the largest portfolio value in mainland China. By 2021, our entire investment fund covered different business formats, including office buildings, commercial buildings, hotels, and apartments. Yuexiu rates also covered Guangzhou, Shanghai, Hangzhou, and Wuhan, and areas with high levels of economic development. By 2025, the property area under the management also reached 1.18 million square meters with a property value of approximately 42.39 billion yuan. We have received investment grading ratings from Moody's, Standard & Poor's, as well as Fitch. We were also included in 5 items of Hang Seng indexes. We've received several ESG ratings, including a 3-star rating from GRESB and the top A rating. Yuexiu rates has been listed for 17 years. We will continue to be diligent and contribute with all our efforts in achieving our common goal in a zero-carbon era. Thank you.
Distinguished industry experts, colleagues, and friends, greetings. I'm Ta Anqi from China Overseas Commercial Properties. I'm privileged to participate in this global live stream regarding zero carbon as one of the Chinese representatives. June 5th is the annual World Environment Day. This year's theme is Only One Earth, which was also the slogan of the 1972 Stockholm Conference. 50 years passed, and the theme has returned to reinforce our awareness that sustainable development is a necessity. As our representatives from the commercial real estate industry, I would like to share a set of data with you first. The data indicates that 19.9% of global carbon emissions come from China, while 40% of China's carbon emissions come from the construction industry. Basically, 8% of world's carbon emissions come from China's construction industry. As a leading enterprise in the construction industry, how to discover the carbon balance, which drives both green, low-carbon development and high-speed development, remains a topic that COCP has always been actively exploring. COCP is responsible for the management of various commercial assets owned by China Overseas Land and Investment, covering various business formats such as offices, shopping malls, hotels, and long-term rental apartments, providing the public with an ideal prospect and experiences of green life and work scenes. Over the past 40 years, COLI, as the parent company, has always upheld the sustainable development concept of good product, good service, good performance, and good citizen. It has been listed as a constituent stock of Hang Seng Sustainable Development Corporate Benchmark Index and rated low risk by ESG rating agency Sustainalytics. And its score for risks is also assessed as the lowest among the real estate enterprises on the mainland. In March this year, we issued a green carbon neutral CMBS with a value of 5.01 billion RMB. A good assessment comes from good products. In the practice of low-carbon architecture, COCP put the greatest efforts to make buildings more scientific and reasonable in planning and design to equip buildings with good energy-saving effects, which we call originally green products. Taking the project of the headquarters base of COCP as an example, we jointly developed a project with China Academy of Building Research and implemented from 3 dimensions, namely planning a layout, energy saving and emission reduction, and industrial assembly. The project is the first 5A net zero energy building in China. During its operational period, it strives to be the first 5A zero carbon building in China, a zero carbon demonstration project that combines industry and research in the construction industry. Inherited the general concept of the group, COCP has been putting great efforts into energy saving and emission reduction and the construction of green and healthy buildings. 13 offices buildings of COCP has been certified by LEED. 10 office buildings and 4 hotels have received WELL HSR health safety rating, and all the office buildings of COCP in London have obtained BREEAM certification. The proportion of green and healthy buildings has continuously increased. Taking the sub-format of COCP as an example, the Commercial Office Asset Business section under my management established China Overseas Office Capital, the leading brand, in 2016. Its assets are scattered in nearly 30 cities around the world, and now it has become the largest single-ownership office building developer and operator in the mainland of China. In order to capture the latest trend of office working, we also established our free office brand, Office Zip, which ranks top 4 in our industry, and it has become a free office brand in China with the most diverse formats. Based on actively responding to various national policies addressing carbon, we have made tremendous efforts in the green and health industry. We assisted the formulation of the national standard, Technology Standard of Zero Carbon Building, compiled and issued several healthy building standards and implementation strategies regarding climate changes. Last year, Office Zip achieved good results in 2 projects in Chengdu and Beijing, receiving China's first WELL HSR certification for non-traditional offices. To achieve low carbon and development at the same time, we're also committed to coordinating the relationship between science and technology and nature in the office scenes to achieve comfort and health with less energy consumption. During its operation, COC has always been dedicated to the reduction of carbon emissions in office buildings. Recently, we promoted the management measure of carbon account by providing incentives to tenants based on their total carbon emission and guiding enterprises or employees to work in a low-carbon way and enhancing their awareness of environmental protection. We took the initiative to conduct this measure in the whole industry by starting from the exact scenes, breaking down the carbon reduction targets and applying these targets to different operational scenes. In the near future, we hope to lay the foundation for the most original data and analysis for the purposes of achieving low carbon operation effect and establishing standards. Furthermore, the free office brand Office Zip under COCP has also actively promoted the realization of sustainable development goals from tenant strategy, daily operation, concept advocacy, and other aspects. On the tenant side, Office Zip breaks away from the traditional leasing relationship and creates green and low carbon space with tenants. Chengdu Jiaozi Office Zip conducted in-depth cooperation with Daikin Company to customize and launch the Office Air Environment Innovation Plan for the project. Moreover, we'll also sign a green management agreement with tenants, requiring them to use green and healthy materials in the redecoration to control carbon emissions and release of harmful gases, and constrain tenants to consciously put low carbon concepts into practice. Care about buildings and care about people in buildings more. We have found that the concern about the safety, health, and greenness of office buildings continues to soar against the backdrop of COVID-19. Therefore, we conducted an in-depth exploration of the application of prop tech through the realization of highly efficient systems for meeting scenarios, non-contacting service of logistical robots, and sanitation measures in the dark scenario to improve the work efficiency and guarantee the health of people in the building. Last year, Office Zip was nominated as the first batch of pioneer enterprises by China International Fair for Trade and Service in achieving carbon goals and won the Revolutionary Champion Award of Golden Key SDG-oriented China action. It is committed to taking concrete actions to fulfill its responsibilities. In the future, COCP will continue to practice the whole chain responsibility of ecological development with environmentally friendly, healthy products, customer satisfaction-centered performance as the leading factor as the principle. With low carbon operation as the core, COCP will strive to build a green base for office and work together with colleagues in various industries to achieve carbon neutrality and build a zero carbon future. Thank you. Dear experts and friends in the industry, my name is Hao Qun from China Central Place. I'm honored to be one of the representatives of the Chinese commercial real estate sector to participate in this live streaming on the theme of global net zero solutions and discuss the operations and ideas of zero carbon in commercial buildings with you. The theme of my speech today is continue building the business card of China Central Place Green by adhering to the concept of 3 responsibilities. First of all, I'd like to share with you a set of figures so that you will have a clear understanding of Beijing China Central Place. To 1 million, with a construction area of 1 million square meters, Beijing China Central Place is located in the core area of Beijing CBD, which ranks 7th in global business districts. It embraces 2 luxury hotels, the Ritz-Carlton and JW Marriott, which have received more than 1 million domestic and international business travelers. 2,000 plus Shinkan Place Beijing, the anchor store at China Central Place, is known as the Global Store King, with a proud achievement of ranking first in global sales. Together with China Central Mall and Avenue Deluxe, it creates a world-class fashion center, bringing together up to 2,000 top luxury and fashion brands in the world. 30 billion in 2021, the commercial segment of China Central Place achieved annual sales of 30 billion RMB, ranking top in the global retail business. 500 plus, the 3 6-star super grade A office buildings and 3 commercial buildings in China Central Place have attracted more than 500 Fortune Global 500 companies, multinational companies, and leading enterprises in the industry, including Johnson & Johnson, Embraer, Tesla, Total, etc., with a contracted occupancy rate of over 99% all year round. Every day, nearly 100,000 people work, interact, and innovate in China Central Place to drive urban progress and high-quality growth of the global economy together. As the first project of Huamao Group, Beijing China Central Place is where it is today because we have always upheld the concept of responsible for the city, society, and history since establishment. Driven by such a strong sense of responsibility, China Central Place has been pursuing the consistent characteristics of world-class business district and super grade A office building customized for Fortune Global 500 companies, financial institutions, and corporate headquarters from planning, design, development, construction to operation and management. By constant improvement of the hardware, facilities, business support, and service quality, China Central Place has truly created an international business district that is 30 to 50 years ahead of urban construction. Next, I will elaborate on the exploration and practice of Beijing China Central Place in the development of green environmental protection to experts present. China Central Place Green is universally praised not only because of its green logo, but also because of its forward-looking, exploratory, and innovative nature in low-carbon development, emission reduction, and green environmental protection by adhering to the concept of three responsibilities. Since the beginning of planning and design in 2002, China Central Place has established a green and sustainable operation model through continuous innovation and improvement in such aspects as architectural technology, materials and equipment, energy efficiency management, and green materials to create a new pattern of green, low-carbon, and environment-friendly buildings. It's also the very forward-looking strategic vision and operation concept of continuous innovation and improvement that allow China Central Place to stand out in green building certification and identification by various government agencies. The office buildings of China Central Place have obtained LEED Platinum certification for operations and maintenance, China Green Building, 6-star Super Grade A office building, and other high-level certifications. Our operation team has been awarded honorary titles such as Beijing Model Group and National Pioneer Workers. In the practice to realize the goals of carbon peak and carbon neutrality, China Central Place has taken the following measures. In reducing the energy consumption of central air conditioners, we fully leverage our location advantages of being adjacent to the thermal power plant and use the steam-fired lithium bromide refrigeration technology to implement three generations of combined cooling heat and power. In summer, we use the high-temperature tail steam of the thermal power plant for refrigeration, which is the first project with remarkable achievements in China to use lithium bromide refrigeration technology on a large scale. A total of 32,220 GJ of waste steam from the thermal power plant has been utilized, which has alone achieved a carbon dioxide emission reduction of 1,700 tons annually. Up to the present, China Central Place has achieved an annual carbon dioxide emission reduction of 4,400 tons. China Central Place piloted the application of commercial concrete, commercial mortar, high-strength steel, water-saving faucets and toilets, variable frequency elevators, and building self-control management on a large scale in 2007, the first to use low-E silver-coated insulating glass to achieve excellent energy saving and carbon-reducing effects and to reduce air pollution. China Central Place proactively explores new ways to participate in the purchase of China certified emission reductions, Beijing certified emission reductions, Beijing emission allowances, and other credits to meet the annual carbon compliance tasks stipulated by the government. Explore new ways continuously in energy saving and emission reduction. We're also making full use of the excellent light resources in Beijing and promoting the construction of distributed photovoltaic power stations. Currently, the installed capacity of distributed photovoltaic power station available for development is 410 kilowatt, according to exploration, which will save 480,000 kilowatt hour of electricity and cut carbon emissions by 290 tons per year after it is completed and put into operation, with totally 7,250 tons of carbon dioxide reduction, according to the service life of 25 years. In the aspect of operation and management, we promote the involvement of all employees in energy saving and enhance their awareness of energy saving by establishing energy saving management systems, targets, reward, and punishment mechanism, etc. The effect is evident, saving nearly 400,000 kilowatt of electricity per year. What I'm presenting is part of China Central Place's Energy Saving and Emission Reduction Management Manual. Effective measures allow twice the effect with half the effort. In the future, supported by digitalization and intelligence, the office buildings of China Central Place will continue to empower low carbon emissions and environmental protection through optimization and upgrading. As a leading commercial real estate enterprise, China Central Place will assume urban, social, and historical responsibilities. We will make every effort and make due contribution to the promotion of carbon peak and carbon neutrality in the industry and sustainable development as well. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Wang Yu, head of Carbon Peak and Neutrality Go business of Land Sea Green Life. It is my great honor to participate in this event, and I'm delighted to share with you the exploration of Land Sea Green Life in the operation of low-carbon communities. On December 24th, 2021, Land Sea Holdings proposed the company's carbon neutrality goal, and the Land Sea Green Life also formulated its own carbon neutrality goal as well as the path to achieve it. The goal is to achieve carbon neutrality in Scope 1 by 2023, Scope 2 by 2025, and strive to achieve carbon neutrality in the value chain of Scope 3 by 2028. The exploration of Land Sea Green Life in the operation of low-carbon communities centered on the carbon neutrality goal mainly focuses on following three aspects. First is the Green Operation Service System. Lanxi Green Life combines the national carbon neutrality and carbon peak strategy based on the traditional property service. At the same time, it conducts in-depth integration with BIU, green building operation standards, and creatively forms a system that focuses on green management, health and well-being, energy management, pollution control, ecological maintenance, disaster prevention, and resilience, water resources management, and resource recycling. The sustainable operation and maintenance service system of green building based on 8 dimensions steadily builds up sustainable operation and maintenance capability of green buildings, focusing on this system with Lanxi characteristics. In terms of resource recycling, Lanxi adopts the anaerobic composting method for garbage generated under the community scenario, including kitchen waste and green waste, to realize on-site harmless waste management and resource recycling. From the perspective of energy management, Lanxi adopts combined the methods of transformation to save energy and energy consumption management. Nanjing Lanxi International Block signed a contract to manage energy in 2021, saving 270,000 kilowatt hours of electricity annually, reducing the cost of energy consumption by 155,600 yuan and reducing carbon emission by 161 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. The energy consumption is monitored in real time, and abnormal energy consumption can be found quickly through the energy management system. The combination of system and energy saving index management can help promote energy saving in communities. As for water resources, Lanxi pays great attention to the safety of drinking water for residents by using relevant British BIE standards to test the Legionella in drinking water. As for the collection and management of carbon emission data, Lanxi constructs a drinking water recycling system and automatic irrigation system for green lands. Lanxi generates approximately 116,500 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent in green areas annually. Every tree and lawn will be labeled and filed by Lanxi for further maintenance. Lanxi Green Life believes that the process of property management is also the process of ecological restoration of communities. The headquarters of Lanxi set up the functional position for ecological experts to evaluate the ecological environment of its serving environment. The use of pesticides, fertilizers, and unqualified detergents shall be under strict control. Lanxi actively participates in the ecological building and governance of communities to help create environmental-friendly communities. Lanxi also implements a sustainable purchasing plan in procurement to tracking down the carbon footprint of purchased products from the purchasing end and strictly control volatile organic compounds of detergent. The second point is to build a business model that suits the operation of low-carbon communities, how to balance the relationship between living experience, operation cost, and carbon emission is an inevitable topic on the road to green sustainable development. Lanxi Green Life jointly built up an intelligent management platform for social carbon neutrality with Nanjing University to control the operation process of communities, construct an operating model of low-carbon communities, set up the output satisfaction warning, and simulate the operation budget. Important referential values such as carbon emissions are simulated to assist the communities in making green operation decisions. Lanxi hopes to help our property service providers find the best balancing point among customer value, enterprise value, and social value more accurately. The third part is the exploration of the practices of Lanxi's low-carbon economy. Lanxi Green Life cooperates with several public welfare organizations to actively explore the inclusive carbon practices of communities, land residents to save energy, and initiative low-carbon life. Lanxi Green Life owns dozens of experts, appraisers, trainers, and carbon asset managers with international accreditations such as BIE, United States, and well in the field of green building, operation, and maintenance. They can help enterprises that offer property services to quickly introduce service systems for the green operation of communities and cultivate green operation teams. Through the international certification of green building operation and maintenance, Lanxi has introduced the solution of
healthy forestry-like indoor environment system to residents, which strictly controls indoor air pollutants, systematic noises, and energy consumption based on the traditional three constant, helping residents to build a healthy and comfortable, while low cost and low carbon indoor environment. Landsea technology arranges green low carbon industry by forming a green technology team composed of hundreds of experts, which can provide enterprises with carbon emission accounting, carbon neutrality strategy formulation, carbon data management, carbon reduction technology consultation of third-party carbon neutrality certification, indoor environmental governance, energy saving, and carbon reduction design and transformation services. Landsea upholds the sustainable development concept. Landsea has fully applied green and low carbon technology to the under construction buildings of joint ventures projects and renovation of old buildings so that the assets can be supported by green and low carbon attributes. Landsea continues to contribute its efforts in promoting and the sustainable development of the construction industry and property service industry. Landsea Life has a profound understanding of the green and low carbon operation of communities and parks. It has more mature technologies and products and successful practice cases. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.